Hi guys, I'm Kristen and welcome to Studio Knit. It's Valentine's Day. This pillow is so fluffy and fun. Let's dive right into it. So we are going to use this Pompadoodle yarn that Red Heart carries. I will have a link to it down below in the description. And it's really cool. It comes with the pom-poms attached to the long yarn. And here I'm going to use needles US size 13 for this project. And of course scissors and a tapestry needle. So to begin, just like every other project we do, our beloved slip knot, we start with that. It's a little awkward working with the pom-poms at first. But once you realize, we're casting on right here. Once you realize that there's no right or wrong way to do it with the pom-poms, then you are in the clear. Just focus on the yarn part just like you normally would. So after casting on 3 stitches, we are going to increase that first stitch. And now we're doing this on every single row. We're doing it with KFB, knit front and back. And if that is not a familiar stitch to you, I do have a link to it in the description below. And after you do that first increase, then that's taking 1 stitch, making it 2. Then you just knit down the rest of the row. Now this is starting us at the bottom point of our heart. And to increase that heart shape from the bottom up, every single stitch, the very first one is KFB. So knit front and back right here. And that pom-pom is really funny to work with. But it always seems to sort of work its way where it's supposed to be. Okay, and then we just knit all the way down the row. And we're going to continue doing this, and it's totally your choice for how long you'd like to do it. Just keep knitting until your piece is the width that you desire, and finish with an even number of stitches. So that's like in multiples of 2. And oh, you'll see right here how the yarn, there's sort of like a netting of yarn, but the pom-poms are so fluffy on both sides. I just love it. So I decided to do 26 stitches, and then I am going to do 5 rows here just straight. So no increasing, just knitting 5 rows straight up. And here, let's see how it's looking. Oh, it is just, oh, I just love touching it. It is so fluffy and fun. And now we are going to take half of the stitches. So I'm taking the first 13 here. And I am going to simply knit the first half, the first 13. And that is going to be what I call a hump, the very first hump. Now, while we're working on that, we are going to place the remaining stitches. You could place it either on an additional knitting needle, or what I'm going to do here, just to be on the safe side, is I am going to take my tapestry needle and with my yarn, different color yarn so I can see what I'm doing, I'm just going to place it temporarily on this little yarn. I'm just going to tie it, and now I can go back and forth on the hump. And we're going to decrease. Now we're decreasing both sides, so it's K2 together and knitting all the way across. And then once you get to the end, let's see, let's go in fast motion here. Knit, 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 knit like the wind. Definitely speeding it up. Okay, the last 2 stitches right here, it is knit 2 together. And we simply do this back and forth, knit 2 together on either end, until we get to having 5 stitches on our needle. So here is our last K2 together. Awesome. And then once you have 5 stitches on your needle, it is simply time to bind off. And again, even though the yarn is funky, we're just going to bind off like we normally would. Just really focus on the yarn part of this, of the yarn here. We're going to bind off all the way down. And then I'm just going to cut the yarn here and using the tapestry needle just help take it through that loop right there. And we don't even have to cut it or weave it through. We're just going to put it right through that one, and that should hold it right there. Okay, now for the second hump. So you'll see our first hump looks really good for the heart shape. And for the second hump, all we have to do is take our needle and thread it back through. And you can, either way, you can go from right to left or left to right. It's totally fine. You can go ahead and untie your little yarn bit, pull it off, and we are going to knit the decreases of hump number 2 the exact same way. And go ahead and knit hump number 2 in the exact same way with our decreasing all the way until you have 5 stitches, and it is time to bind off. And oh, it's so touchably soft. I just adore this heart shape and this yarn. So much fluffy goodness, and you'll see that it's totally identical as far as the pom-poms are concerned here on both sides. Somehow the pom-poms just know exactly where they need to be. Now to sew our 2 heart pieces together, because we'll have 2 in order to make a heart, just take regular old yarn. You don't want to mess with those pom-poms getting in the way. I'm going to pick this color right here, and just using our tapestry needle again, we are going to sew around the edges all the way around until this last little bit right here, where we can go ahead and turn our piece inside out. And that way all of those yarn ends, they're going to be on the inside. And here with our opening, we're going to take some stuffing and stuff it on in there. Stuff it however you'd like. You probably don't want to do too much because there's that really loose webbing of yarn underneath those pom-poms, and you don't want the stuffing really sticking out. So once you have it stuffed the way you'd like, it is time to just take that yarn with your tapestry needle and go ahead and sew up the last little bit and weave in your ends, and you are done. So yummy. I love it. I can't stop squeezing it. It's really fluffy. It's really cute, and I love these colors. I hope you guys are inspired to knit up some hearts. And I know a little girl who loves the color purple, and she just may be getting a fluffy heart for Valentine's Day. This is the place where you learn how to knit, and most importantly, totally fall in love with it. And make sure to check out all of my knitted projects that are perfect for Valentine's Day. Lots of heart and love to you all. Bye!